Relativism, Feet Firmly Planted in Midair, is another one of your excellent books about relativism, which is popular now in our culture, but ultimately you can't live it out in real life. Greg, I was wondering if you could take one of the conversations from the book and explain that to us and show us how to talk to people about relativism.
Just for the record, relativism is the point of view that there is no truth in whatever area one is talking about, that it's just a matter of individual opinion, and that's is all you can say about it. And in the book, I'm talking about moral relativism, the idea that there is no objective standard, there's no absolute over everybody. It's just a matter of individual opinion. And therefore, nobody is ever justified in claiming another person is wrong about anything. It may be wrong for me, but it doesn't mean it's wrong for him. And so that's the notion of relativism. Now, this is fairly easy to deal with if you use a tactical approach. And I was having a conversation in a chiropractor's office with a physical therapist once. Very nice conversation. He was a relativist. And we got into a conversation about something, and I shared my point of view based on his question, and he didn't like it. And he said, you Christians are nice people a lot of the time, but before long you start judging people. Now, I hope your listeners noticed that itself is a judgment. It's a judgment against me. Now, I wanted to make it more clear. So I asked him a question, and I said, Gil, what's wrong with that? And then he says, it's wrong to judge. Okay, so now I got it. And so now he's doing, notice, the very thing that he's telling me not to do. Okay, this is an example of the suicide tactic. It's self-defeating. And so I used my Columbo questions to help him see that. And I said, well, Gil, if it's wrong to judge, then why are you judging me right now? And he was stunned with the question because he had never been asked that question before, and it set him back a little bit. And he's trying to regroup, and he's kind of talking to himself a little bit, trying to figure out how to get out of this fix. And finally he says, well, I guess it's okay to judge. But, he said, you can't push your morality on other people. That's going too far. Now, he felt he improved his situation. He hadn't. He'd gone right from the frying pan into the fire. And so I had another question for him, a clarification question. What do you mean by that question? I said, Gil, is that your morality? Is that your morality? When you say it's wrong to push your morality on other people, is that your moral point of view? And he said, yes, it is. No. And so I had, as the question you can imagine, then why are you pushing your morality on me right now? And oh man, that caught him by surprise. And he's back, and now he sees the problem he's in, and he makes a couple of false starts, and he can't get going. And finally he says, it's not fair. He's all frustrated. I said, what do you mean it's not fair? He said, I can't find a way to say it in which it sounds right. He thought I was playing a word trick on him or something. I said, Gil, it's not a word trick. You are doing the very thing you're telling me not to do. You can't get out of that. That's just what's going on here. Sometimes people will say, well, now you got me all confused. And I just say in a very friendly, jovial way. Remember, I want these to be friendly conversations. I say to them, no, you were actually confused when you started. You just now figured that out, So there's an example of two tactics working together. The suicide tactic, that is, the person's point of view was self-refuting in practice. And I'm using the Columbo tactic to point it out, but I'm trying to do it in a friendly, genial fashion. And this is the power of the questions, because it helps you to keep a friendly atmosphere, because you're not just telling somebody they're wrong, you're helping them to see it by throwing the ball back into their court using the appropriate question.